Right, so we're about 3 to 4 days away from the new season. It's getting pretty close, it's coming on Tuesday. Now, I'm going to break down 50 things that are coming to Season 22 that most of you probably don't know about. There will be some spoilers in this, there will be some leaks in this that you don't know about. I'm sure there'll be stuff that you probably do know about. But either way, you will learn something in this video, and I've had to turn my fan off in my room so I can make this video, so you gotta appreciate it. Make sure you leave it a like if you do learn something. So, let's get into these. So number one, probably the biggest one we have coming to us, and that is going to be, we have a new map. The new map's going to be called E-District, and it's been leaked for a while, but we've actually got confirmation now. It looks really, really nice, and we've had a lot of gameplay. I haven't got any gameplay myself, because I don't really want to steal someone else's gameplay and put it in the background, but if you go onto any kind of, if you search Apex Legends Season 22, you will find some gameplay of this. The screenshots, as you can see on the screen, look really, really nice. And it's described as a nighttime map that is kind of got a cyberpunk neon vibe, which sounds really cool. I will also say, Fade actually tweeted, if you don't know who Fade is, he plays way too much, he is very, very good at the game, and he plays on M&K. He also moans about Apex a lot, and he's pretty honest of all his opinions, so that is why I'm saying this is a really, really good tweet from him. Number two, we have new supply bins coming in the game. Now, these are going to consist of a gold one and a red one, and it's actually called a mythic one, and these actually look crazy. There's a bit of gameplay here that I'll put in the background. As you can see, the gold one is stacked out with a lot of stuff, and I think these actually spawn in around the map off drop. And then you have the mythic ones. I don't think these ones actually spawn in until Ring 2 closes, which is the same time as care packages spawn in. It does make a lot of sense. It's also going to be marked on the map. Once again, it takes 10 seconds to open this, so everyone's going to know exactly where it is, and it contains normally the mythic items, which is like a red gun, and with the R99 going into the care packages season, which looks absolutely incredible, that will be very, very powerful. Next, there's a new hop-up just for LMGs. As you can see on screen, it's called the Gunshield generator, and you get 40 health on that Gunshield around your character now, kind of like Gibby's old passive, and that is actually a really cool change for LMGs. A lot of people don't use them, and I think they're trying to get people to use them more, so makes a lot of sense. Next up, the map rotation for Season 22. Now, the first 2 weeks is going to be the new map District, as we showed just now, and the other 2 maps are going to be in rotation are Stormpoint and Broken Moon. So it's actually the 3 newest maps we have are in rotation at the same time, and in my opinion, they are the best 2 maps in the game right now for ranked and pubs. They just seem to flow the best. They're the newest, updated ones, and honestly, I am not against this whatsoever. Next up, number 5, we have an Aim Assist Nerf. Now, Aim Assist on PC is 0.4 at the moment. On console, it's actually 0.6. So console, if you're a console player that plays on console in console lobbies, then this is not changing whatsoever for you. If you're on PC, this is going to go down from 0.4 to 0.3. So you're losing 25% of your Aim Assist, which it doesn't sound too crazy, and I don't think it will be too crazy, but either way, it is still a nerf. So number 6, they actually removed flinch when getting shot at for like every single legend in the game. There's gameplay just here, as you can see in the background. It used to be a lot worse, and kind of in my head it's not that bad on this game, but from this video it kind of looks a bit rough and looks like they've actually made this way better, so I'm impressed. Number 7, we have a Bangalore heirloom recolor coming. It kind of looks like a greeny color at the moment, and there's also a finisher that goes with this, which I assume would be like a bundled thing, and the finisher is actually really, really cool, as you can see on screen. Number 8, we have a new Recon Legend update. This is Seer Bloodhound Crypto and Vantage, and they're getting a thing called Threat Vision, which is when they're ADS, they can actually see, as you can see on the screen there, like a red outline on people. Now, it's kind of an interesting one, this. I don't know why they need this, really. I guess Recon Legends are kind of underused, so they've just added this to add a bit more to them. They've also had some changes to their ring scans as well, so it doesn't scan the whole map now, it scans around 500 meters, and it doesn't quite work the same. You also only get 75 per scan now as well, so they made a few changes to Recon Legends there, which are quite exciting. So moving on to number 9, this is actually a change for controller legends. So this is Coolstick, Watson, Rampart, and Catalyst. So now they have Zone Overcharge perk, where you'll get an extra 25 shield if you're in zone. So that kind of makes people want to go out of zone to scan rings a bit more, and it's a bit more safe. And also it says shields will disappear once you step outside of zone, so when you get back in. Number 10, we have the R99 going into the care package and the EVA 8 coming out. Another thing about this R99 is that they're upping the damage by 3 per bullet. It's currently 11, and they're adding up to 14. And it's also going to have 30 bullets in a clip because of the light guns buff that we'll go over in a little bit. So this gun is going to be one of the best care package weapons we've ever seen. It's better than the one that we had a few seasons back, which was already ridiculous, so quite excited for this one. So number 11, we have a Hemlock nerf coming. This gun's been pretty strong for a long time. Damage per bullet is gone down to 19 from 20. The time between bursts is increased, and the reduction to white and blue magazine capacities. So the white mag actually was very, very strong on the Hemlock, so I think it did need that as well. But these changes for me are really, really good. Next up, we have an unexpected one. They're actually nerfing the flatline, but only the mag size, so it's still a nerf, but I think this is because they want people to use LMGs more than some of the ARs, so I think they're just nerfing some and like making some worse so the LMGs can get used a bit more, but they're basically just taking a few bullets or 1 or 2 bullets off each magazine size. But I didn't expect a flatline nerf at all. I didn't even think a flatline really needed a nerf, but that's the only thing I can think of. Another thing that actually did need a nerf was the Havoc. Now the Havoc is getting a hipfire nerf. I really don't think this is going to be quite enough to make it like not as good as it really is, because you can still kind of control a hipfire well if you just kind of ADS and then in and out. So it's an interesting one. I think they need to do something to the damage, to be honest, because that is the main problem, but it has been nerfed a couple times in the last couple weeks, so hopefully this does enough to make it a little bit worse, but we'll see. Next up, we have another unexpected one. The R301 actually is getting a buff, along with some other light guns, but we don't know much about those yet. But this thing is now going to have, it's basically just had a magazine size increase. This thing can now have 31 bullets if you have a purple or gold mag on it, which is kind of wild, to be honest. A blue mag actually gives you 28 as well, and I think the 301 needed something because it kind of turned into a gun that didn't feel like it done any damage compared to the other ARs. So I'm happy they actually buffed this thing. They also nerfed the flatline, as I just said, so I think the 301 will be up in the tiers this season. And it looks like they want all people to use light guns a bit more because light guns just don't get used that much at the moment. So I like this change. Next up, we actually have another unexpected one for me. Rank changes. So the final rank of previous season determines the start. So if you're like Plat 4, say, you're going to be like Silver 2, I think. It's always like 1.5 tiers where it used to be, but they might have changed it. We also have, it has also been modified to ease the road to Platinum, Diamond and Masters, so that it won't be negative if it's within 15 place. The English is not great, but anyway. I think if you get top 15 now, you don't get negative RP, which to me makes it seem maybe too easy. I'd like a 10th place, then maybe that makes sense, but top 15, so only 5 scores need to die? I'm not too sure. And it also says adjustments have been added to matchmaking, so not sure what that means. Right now I feel like D2 you get put in pred lobbies, so it could be something to do with that. Once you get to like D2 you don't get put in pred lobbies, there's like a gap in between. I don't know, but rank changes were something I didn't think would be on the cards this season, and that whole top 15 thing, interesting one. So next up we have another one that was kind of just unexpected. So we're actually getting some ammo stack changes. So light ammo used to be 60 stacks and now they're 72. Shotgun used to be 14 to 20 and energy actually got decreased from 60 to 54. Energy has been the meta this season for most of the time, so I think they're trying to make energy a bit less useful and light a bit more. Once again we're going with a bit of a light trend here. So interesting one again, but once again cool changes, and also they've buffed shotguns there along with some stuff we'll go over in a minute. So next up we have a new kind of movement which comes as a grav launcher. These grav launchers seem to be quite cool. It looks like most of them are kind of high up areas, and that's why they're called gravity launchers, because they're already high in the air. On this gameplay it looks like someone tap strafes into that and it goes sideways. I don't think you'll be able to do that like on a controller, for example, but I might be wrong. You might be able to walk into it one way and kind of like turn last second and it does ping you in a certain direction, but to me that looks like tap strafing. But that's a pretty cool thing to have. I like that you can kind of chain buildings together. With buildings that are that high up, you don't want to just be able to get to it from the bottom. You need to be able to get it from the top as well, just so people can't sit on top. So I really like that. Number 18, we actually have a crypto buff, which is pretty insane. It's called Off the Grid and it's a perk on his blue tier. Crypto gets cloaked when entering the drone. I've actually got some gameplay of this. As you can see, it like kind of flickers you when you go enter your drone. It kind of flickers you to be invisible. But this is crazy. Like Crypto's getting a buff anyway because he's a Recon legend, so he's gonna have like threat vision all the time, and now he can go invisible as well. Like Crypto is going to be on top next season. But let me know what you think of that one in the comments, because that buff is pretty insane to me. So number 19, we actually have quite a nice UI change here. The death boxes have been kind of reworked to look a lot cleaner. As you can see, it's really nice. They basically put like the health meds and stuff in like a horizontal line rather than having to scroll so far. So you haven't got to scroll as far now, and you can kind of see a lot more just from the face value of opening a box, which is really nice. It's one of them things that no one expected, and it is a really nice change to see something like that. So I like this one a lot. So number 20, this one is kind of underrated for me. It's been there for like 20 seasons now, I swear. But when you climb or mantle like a ledge or a wall, and you do it at the same time as your teammate, one of you always gets like kicked down, or both of you get kicked down. It looks like they've actually reverted it so you don't do that, which is huge. Like, that's been there for so long, I swear. And it is one of them really minor things that's really, really annoying. So nice to see a change there. Next up, number 21. Caustic traps are now green if they're friendly. So finally we can actually determine whose team a caustic trap is from just by looking at the actual thing. To enemy teams, they'll still be red, but to your friendly teams, they are now green, and it's a good change. It's one of them tiny little things that should have been done a long time ago, but finally has been added. So this season, we're also getting Akimbo, Mozambique, and P2020. Now, there's no hop-up for this. This actually requires you to pick up 2 of the guns. So if you're holding one P2020, you've got to find another one, and you'll have them in Akimbo. And the second one for this point is, on screen, you can see there are some pretty cool skins for these P2020s, and these are actually the reactive ones. You can see when they get shot here that they kind of react, and yeah, the emotes and stuff for these guns look really, really clean. So I'm pretty happy they've added this. I know it's not a new weapon, but like, it's something to play with and something like new close range that'll be really good. I also don't know if you can use hop-ups on these yet. I don't think anyone has confirmed that I've seen, so we'll have to wait and see on that. Number 24, we've actually got some tracker changes coming. Now, we've never seen this before, and it's about time they add something like this. As you can see on screen, you can actually mix and match trackers now. You can add like half and half of one. There are so many trackers in the game at the moment that I think it is about time that you can show more than 3. So combining these is pretty damn cool, and hopefully they actually bring out a lot of like new badges and things as well, because I think it's about time we just have some new things we can earn. I know with the solos mode recently we did get a new badge, so hopefully they can start adding more things just like that, because I think people need new challenges to go for, and these trackers are really, really cool. I do like this one quite a lot. Number 25, Vantage is actually getting a pretty big buff to her ultimate. Now, it used to do a lot less damage than this. It used to do 50 for a body shot and 100 if you hit again, and now it does 125 to the body shots. No, yeah, body shots afterwards when you hit them, and headshots now do 70 and 175 if you hit them again, as you can see on the screen there. That is absolutely incredible, and once again, she is a Recon legend, so she also has like the threat vision and stuff. It really looks like they're trying to get people to play more Recon Legends. I'd assume Recon Legends are probably the least played ones, so maybe this is a kind of an attempt to push them up in the pick rate. But I don't know, this seems really strong to me. I know that a lot of people will hate this, like me, and if you're a Vantage main, you are on top right now. So it's not just Vantage mains you should be happy. If you're a Wattson main, you're also going to be very happy. She's actually got 2 new perks for her, it's basically her ultimate ability, her generator that these change. And you have 2 options now, which basically you have one that can last for almost an infinite time. Once it charges your shields up, you will then slowly, once you get your shields back, your generator will then slowly recharge. So it's kind of infinite, and you can just keep going, but it's normal speed. And the other one on screen right now, you're about to see how fast this thing actually heals you. It's actually faster than Conduit's Q, which is kind of crazy. This one doesn't regenerate, like it does run out eventually, but how fast that is there is actually pretty incredible. And these actually look a bit different as well. If you didn't notice the first time, you can see just there that they are different generators, like the look is different. One's lighter blue than the other one. So a huge watching change, and once again, she's also a Recon, no, she's a controller legend, so they are also getting a little nerf buff here as well. So honestly, it's looking really good for anyone that kind of plays Ring and like Wattson defensively. Honestly, this is really good. I can't wait to play Wattson when she actually has a bit of ability like that, so excited for that one. Next one is more about controller legends. So as if this wasn't enough that they're already getting a little kind of buffs, they've actually got a pretty big one here. So they can, you have to be quite close to pick up, say, like a Wattson fence, a caustic trap. Now you can actually do it from within like 75 meters. So as long as you're looking at it and you can see it, you can pick them up from anywhere. So if you're across, you've changed buildings, for example, you want to take your nodes away as Wattson from one building to the other one, you can just do it by looking through the window, looking through the wall now. You don't even need to go in the building, which is like another, this works with Rampart, Caustic, and Wattson, by the way. Catalyst ones are slightly different. You have to be quite close and within line of sight. It's not through walls, so that makes sense because Catalyst is pretty strong. She's probably the strongest one, so that does make sense. But once again, this is a controller legend buff that we've seen a lot of here. Number 28, we have a Seer buff. Now this is very small. This comes in the perks with his purple perk, and you can actually choose to have 2 scans now. As you can see on screen, there's some gameplay of it. You can have 2 scans, they don't last as long. So you get 2 scans at 50%, so you can scan kind of 2 places rather than one big one. So it's an interesting change. I'm not sure how good that it really is, if it's going to change much with Seer, to be honest, but it's a change. Next up, we have an Ultra change, which is she can actually scan rings whenever blue perks is now Ringmaster. So an interesting one there. I'd imagine most people would probably pick this one if you're playing ranked with her. This is quite an interesting change because like they're slowly adding some ring perks to people now. Obviously Fuse can do it and Pathfinder can do it. So there's a few like Recon legends that can now scan the rings, which is quite interesting. It looks like they're trying to change up the meta a bit and get Ultra played more. Maybe in like ranked competitive. I don't know. we'll see. Next up, we have a bit of a lifeline change. Now, it's quite small, comes with her purple perks, and it's the gold-plated one, where you get gold items. So it says next lifeline care package now contains gold loot. It used to also say that you get an Evo cache on here, so it looks like they've nerfed and took away the Evo cache, which kind of makes sense. I think that was pretty powerful, but at the same time, it made Lifeline pretty good, so it's a tough one. Another change comes with Rampart, another controller legend. It's interesting this, isn't it? So, you know how Vantage's ultimate charges, you get like a bullet at a time, it's not like 1 to 100%, it's like 1 to 20. This kind of works the same as Sheila now. So you can charge it like a little bit, and you get 44 bullets, and then you can keep it going until you get like 176, I think it is. But yeah, I probably shouldn't know that off the top of my head, I think that's actually right. But yeah, you get, so you can actually use Sheila very early in games now. It takes like kind of like a minute probably to get your charge now, so you can get like 40 bullets just for free pretty quickly in a game. It's an odd change, but I don't see any downside to that really, there's no downside to that. You can just have it, as long as it's away, it charges up, so as long as you don't have it out all the time, you're good. So number 32 is going to be Battle Sense. Now Battle Sense is a new feature that added this season. So it's basically if you damage someone, they'll get a health bar above their head. So it's an interesting one because some people seem to say that this makes it easier for less good players, and that is true. It gives people a bit more of like a... You don't need to have it in your head, you can just look at it visually. And this does, for me, this also actually helps out solo players quite a lot, because instead of having comms, you have like health bars. I'm not sure if it's like your team does damage and it shows you the rest of your team, or just you have to do the damage, and you have to be within line of sight, and I believe the distance is 30 meters. It won't work in smoke and caustic gas, so it's not going to ruin things like that. And obviously you need to be in line of sight of someone, so if they're in cover, you will not see them. But it's an interesting one that we're going to get health bars, because we've never really had health bars before in Apex. So it'd be interesting to see how this actually works. I think for the lower level players and new players, it's really, really strong. But I think for people that have played this game way too much, like me, it's probably not going to help us too much. But there's got to be ways that they're going to introduce new players to Apex, and obviously that's what they're going with here. So we'll let it run, we'll see how it goes. So number 33 is quite an interesting one. It's to do with getting more loot on the map. So at the same time as the new Mythic bin spawns, which is the end of Ring 2 or the start of Ring 3, all the bins in the map at the same time are going to reset. So if they're open, they're going to close, and they're going to like restock loot, and then you can reopen them again. I'd assume that this loot will be random, so you wouldn't get like duplicates of what you just opened if you were like stood next to a bin. So this is an interesting one. This is a really good way to add more loot to the game. Like you get a lot of people kind of like respawning in, and they need loot at the end of the game, but everything's already looted and you need to find death boxes. This kind of eliminates a need to do that. You actually find some loot that's fresh on the ground, so it's quite nice. I don't think more loot is ever a bad thing, to be honest. It's just not. It's good for the game. So number 34 is quite a big one. Trios is actually getting replaced with a new mode called Trios Revival, where you actually spawn in again if you die, as long as one of your teammates are alive. You get like a counter. I'm not sure how long that counter is right now, but you get a counter, and if your teammate or one of your teammates or two of your teammates survive long enough, you will just fly back in. This makes a lot of changes because one, pubs will be more fun, more enjoyable, and there'll be more shooting, more kind of hectic. It's what you want with pubs. But the bad thing is, this is going to kind of eliminate a lot of the old badges. I'd assume because it's a trios mode, all badges will be attainable still. So any 20 bomb badges will be made a lot easier if you can just have more people respawning in the game. So maybe this is the time where they actually add new badges that you can earn. Maybe like a 30, 25 kill game. That would also add really good stuff for like content creators like myself, and a good challenge for players that want to be challenged. So I don't see a downside to that at all. Number 35 is going to be the EVA being back on the ground. We already knew this because the R99 is going to do the care package, but we're now getting the boosted loader hop up to go on the EVA, so it reloads a lot faster. Next up, we have alternator changes. So the disruptor rounds are leaving, and the white mag, blue mag, and purple mag are all getting increased, so the alternator gets a little bit better without having disruptors on it. There's a lot of stuff being added to the game, so it makes sense for disruptors to be deleted from the game. Next up, 37, we have a new Seer skin coming, which actually comes with a new intro animation, which is quite cool. We don't often get these. There's kind of like one for each legend, or half the legend in the game, so it's quite cool to get a new one. This Seer skin does look pretty cool for once, and it's a shame that Seer is in a pretty bad place right now power-wise. So next up, we have the PK and Mastiff are actually getting buffs, because they're getting, like, as you can see on screen, the pellet changes now look different. There's a lot less of them, so there'll be less like hitting 9s, and they're a bit more tightly spread. This is the same with a Mastiff, but it's across horizontally. These shotguns will be hitting a lot harder now, and much more consistently. There seems to be a bit of a shotgun buff and an LMG buff across the board here. I think they're trying to change up guns people use most of the time. And honestly, the PK is already pretty damn good. So giving it more power, and we also have an ammo stack because you can carry more ammo easily. This thing is going to be very, very good this season. And I've seen a lot of gameplay already, and you can easily hit over 100. So you can actually two-pump people with PK and the Mastiff now, which I'll wait and see if that gets annoying. I'm sure it will. But if you like using shotguns, you'll enjoy that. So now this is basically going to be a montage of many skins that are going to be coming out in the new season. The first one, we have this Bloodhound Vampire skin. Looks pretty cool, and there's actually quite a lot of really good looking skins this season. It looks like they put quite a bit of effort into cosmetics. I know normally they always try and sell stuff, but at least they're putting in a bit more effort to make them look a lot better. So I'm going to put some music in the background, let a few of these skins roll over, and then I'll talk to you at the end. I don't care what anyone says, that Apex theme tune goes hard. Anyway, let me know in the comments what your favourite of the 50 new things coming to Apex in Season 22 are. This video took quite a long time to edit, and I have to thank a lot of people. I'm not sure if anyone that is going to be doing these things are even going to see this, but Hypermist and Daz and all the content creators that have been out there and made videos on this already couldn't have made a video like this without any of them leaking stuff and putting stuff on Twitter/X. So thank you to anyone that's leaked stuff and has helped me with this video. Thank you for watching. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, do what you feel like doing. Join my Discord, it's in the description below. If you have any questions, let me know there. That's the best place to get hold of me. And cheers guys, thanks for watching, and peace out for now.